Hello my friends, today I'm going to show you how to make a 3D mask, and I'm going to be showing you how to make this mask because eventually we're going to be embroidering the mask or we are going to be applying heat press. So I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. Let's get started. The list of materials is going to be in the description box, but as we go I'll be telling you the materials that I'm using. The materials I'm going to use, it's going to be 100% 300 count thread, and I got it from a sheet. I bought a sheet. The sheets, it's the only ones that I see it shows so far the count thread. So we just want to make sure it's a quality count thread, at least in one of the layers. The other thing that I'm going to be using, this fabric is 100% cotton. I'm not sure how many thread count they have because it doesn't say. So we're going to put one on top of the other. Since this one it's all nice, I'm gonna put this one that is already cut on top so I don't mess up. On my jewelry channel, I show how to make one mask. It's different than this one. It's a square as well, but I made it with microfabric towel. So first, you're gonna go to my webpage, MarielBeadsandBeyondQuickandfacil, and you're gonna download this pattern. So let's see. I need a little bit, just okay. So as you can see, and this is like a medium large size. Like for me, I like them a little bit smaller, but some people like bigger, so it depends. So what I would recommend is for you to make one and then decide or go from there. Make your adjustments if you want it a smaller or bigger, whatever you want. So you can go ahead and make the arrangements. So as you can see, I have my pattern laid. If you prefer to color this, so you can just mark it all around. I usually iron my fabric before I cut it, but just for tutorial purposes and because I want to do faster, I'm just going to show you how to cut it. So you want to iron it before, and I usually iron it before and I iron it after, especially when you're making a 3D or on any type of, like the one with the pleats, you want to iron it just to make sure it's gonna be good. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. Like if you want to make a large one, I would recommend to add like 1 centimeter all around. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna go ahead and iron this. I iron my fabric. What we're going to do right now is we're gonna sew this edge right here, and right here. And you wanna make sure as you're sewing, make sure your fabric is nice and straight, okay? I'll be right back to show you. As you can see, I already sew this area right here, and then bottom. I left this open and this open. So what we are going to do right now, we are going to add our elastic. So we are going to grab our elastic, make sure it's not twisted. We're gonna stick it in here. And then we're gonna put one edge in one corner and the other one in the other corner. And if you want to do a little bit less, it's up to you. This is the way I like to make mine. We're going to sew right here. We're gonna repeat the step on this side, put our elastic, and then just sew. And I'll be right back to show you the next step. Okay, so I add my elastics. As you notice, my threads are white, and I use white thread for every single mask that I make. The only difference is, like, if I making a black one, once I'm done, I sew all this area with black so the white thread doesn't show. Also, I like to sew all the way around, reinforce the thread, so I usually reinforce these areas. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back to show you the next step. As you can see, I already saw all the corners. So right now we are going to cut all the excess. So what we are going to do right now is we're going to flip it. And at this point, I really recommend for you to iron it, but very careful so you don't melt your elastic. As you can see, my elastics are really nice. They look in the same places. Right here, you can iron it again. You want to make sure that all the corners are nice and out. This is what you should have. So right now, what we are going to do is we're going to add our wire. I have this wire, and I'm using 20 gauge wire. You can find it at MarielBeadsandBeyondQuickandfacil. I cut it 5.5. Then I bent the edges, and then I put hot glue, and then end up with 5. Sometimes you can do it a little bit smaller. As you can see, this one is a little bit too long. So let me find one that is shorter than this. As you can see, this is perfect. You can even do it smaller if you like. That is a preference. So we're gonna grab the wire and we're gonna put it inside. At this point, you're gonna make sure all the edges are good. And you also want to make sure that it's centered. Like if you put a smaller one, you want to have the same distance. You want to also ensure that the wire is on top, like this. We're good to go. So our wire is good to go. Now what we are going to do is we are going to measure these corners. We want to have the same length. As you can see, it's the same length. We're just gonna fold like a 1/2 centimeter, and we're just going to pin it together. What we are going to do right now is we're gonna sew all around top stitch. Right here, you want to sew like a 1/2 millimeter. Make sure you don't break your needle. Remember, there's a wire in here. So you're gonna go all the way around, and I'll be right back to show you the next step. Yeah, I sew all the way around. What I'm going to do next, I'm gonna grab these corners and we're gonna flip it over. We are going to put a clip right there. We are going to grab these corners and we're gonna put them over. I usually leave like 3.5 inches. I measure that is 3.5 inches, and then so what we are going to do is we're just gonna sew a top stitch in each of the sides. Right now, what are we going to do? So we are going to grab this corner and we are going to bring it like 1 inch away, or a little bit, like 1.25 inches. It depends. And we're gonna clip it. Same right here. We're gonna do 1.25 inches, so it's kind of right there. you're gonna do the same thing. 1.25 inches. Right there. Same thing right here. We want to be 1.25 inches. And like I said, you can make any adjustments you think you might need. Before you sew it, I recommend for you to fold it and see, because sometimes if you don't do it right on the spot you need to be doing it, it kind of makes like a, see, like right here, it makes this bubble right here. So usually what I do, I just release this and try to fold it to figure it out. What am I doing wrong? So this is telling me that I need to go further than 1.5 inches. So I just clip them right there. And it depends on the pattern. So each pattern is going to be different. So see, but you want to make sure, I mean, it's not a big deal, but I like to have it the way that it's not making like a saggy part right here, like a baggy in there. I don't like that. So we're just going to fix it before we sew. And it's not a big deal. I mean, if it doesn't matter to you, it should be fine. Nobody's gonna notice. But see right here, you see this little bag? I don't like that, so I'm going to fix it right now that I can. And now this is the last step. We can go ahead and sew all the way straight. Same thing on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew all the way, and I'll be right back to show you my mask. Okay, I sew on both sides, as you can see, and our mask is done. I'm going to be showing in the next videos how to embroider the mask, or also how to put like heat press. Just remember, you gotta go to MarielBeadsandBeyond.com to download the pattern. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it was easy to follow along. If you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up, like the videos, and share them with your friends. Until next time, thank you.